Welcome to the Math Worker. Today I'll be covering the ICTM Regional 2014 Division A Algebra 2. Okay, number 1. If x is equal to 3 and y is equal to negative 1, find the value of the expression x to the power 4 and y to the power 6. So all we have to do is plug it into the equation. So that's 81, because 3 to the power is 81, and then negative 1 to the power 6. Negative 1 to the power of even is just 1. So that answer is just 81. And that's basically just that simple. Number 2, when solve for x, the equation 2 parentheses 3x minus 5 minus 2 is equal to 6 x plus k has infinite solutions. Find the value of x. So let's expand this out on the left side. So that's 6x, that's minus 10, then minus 12. That's equal to 6x plus 6k, right? So k has to be equal to negative 2, because negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. So answer for number 2 is negative 2. Okay. That's the idea of just having infinite solutions. So the equations have to be the same. Points 2 comma a and b comma 7 lies on the equation x minus 3y plus 13 is equal to 0. Find the sum of a plus b. Okay, so we just have to plug that in. So 2 minus 3a plus 13 is equal to 0. So that means 15 minus 3a is equal to 0. So a is equal to 5. Okay, now let's find b. So b minus 21 plus 13 is equal to 0. So b minus 8 is equal to 0. So b is equal to 8. So adding them together, you get an answer of 13. Basically that simple. Okay, so far, first 3, pretty okay. Number 4, let a be a two-digit integer. The integer b is the same as a when the digits are reversed. So it's something like if a is equal to 23, then b is equal to 32 or something. Okay. Find the largest value of a such that a is equal to 3b minus 2. So let's say a is equal to 10x plus y. Because if a is equal to 2 and b is, I mean, if x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3, the number is 23, right? So the tens place is the x and the y's is the ones place. That means basically b is the opposite of that. It will be 10y plus x. Okay, so that means we'll plug into our equation. So 10x plus y is equal to 3 times b, which is 30y plus 3x minus 2. So that means 29y minus 2 is equal to 7x. That means x is equal to 21y minus 2 divided by 7. And all you have to do now is to put it in your calculator and check when it works. So let's say y is equal to 1, right? Because if you want the largest value of a, that means you want x to be bigger, right? Because the 10 has to be bigger than is the larger value. So you want that to be bigger, that means y has to start the lowest. So what we have to do is 29 minus 2 divided by 7. Okay, that's not an integer, so that doesn't work. Let's say y is equal to 2. So 29 minus 2, I mean 29 times 2 minus 2 divided by 7 is 8. Okay, so x is equal to 8 and y is equal to 2. That means our number for a is equal to 82. Okay, and that's your answer for a. Number 5, Barbara bought a bracelet on QPC. She decided to sell it on eBay. The bracelet had lost two-thirds of its value by then. Anna bought it at a price equal to its new value. She paid $56, which include $20 for shipping and handling. Find the original cost. Okay, so if $20 is shipping and handling, that means she actually paid 36 for the entire thing. Well, she paid 56, but 36 was actually for the item, 20 is for shipping and handling. So the original price, let's say it's X, so lost two-thirds, and then she sold at that price, so it's equal to 36. So that means X is equal to 36 times 3 over 2. So, well, it lost two-thirds, sorry, so that's one-third, okay? So you just multiply 3, so that's a 1. So 36 times 3 is 108. So that's our answer. Number 5 is 108. Sorry about that, it was one-third, not two-thirds. Because it lost two-thirds of its value, so it only has one-third left. If 3x squared plus number 6, if 3x squared plus 8 is equal to 56, find the smallest possible value of 4x minus 5. So 3x is equal to 48. So x squared is equal to 16. So x is equal to plus or minus 4. If you want the smallest, that means you have to use -4 and not +4. So -4 times 4 is -16, minus that 5 is equal to -21. So number 6 is -21. Number 7, the average of three values is 3x plus 2y. So if two of the values are 4x plus 2y and 3x minus y, find the value of the third. Find it in terms of x and y. So we know 4x plus 2y, 3x minus y, and the average is 3x plus 2y. So you have to multiply by 3 to get the total. So it'll be 9x plus 6y. So we know this is 9x. This is 7x, so you have to add a 2x. This is plus 6y. This is plus y, so this is plus 5y. So our answer for number 7 is 2x plus 5y. It's basically just that simple. Okay, number 8. For what number 8. For what values of k does the graph of the equation x plus k minus 2 has a y-intercept of 4? Okay, so let's kind of draw a graph. So I know that if you have a y absolute value x, the equation looks something like this. It touches the origin and it's like this. Okay, so it's like a v. So if we had to move the graph around, so we had to plus k, and then we had to minus 2. So minus 2, that means instead of like right here, it's going to be like at -2. And then you have to move it right and left. That's what it means to be plus k. So for it to have a y-intercept of 2, because right now I have a y-intercept of -2, that means I have to if I move it like to the right, that means our equation, right? So let's kind of draw this a little smaller because I'll show you both possibilities. So our equation is something like this, right? It's at -2, but we're moving it to the right, and we want to make it -4. It's going to be like something like, I mean, it has to be 4, it has to be something right here. And this one's still at -2. It's that right here, that's 4. Okay? And if we're moving it to the left, we are something like this. Okay? So this is still at, this point still is at -2, but right here is at 4. So how we need to know that is that if this is some kind of length, and this is 4, and this is 2, that is -2, that's 6, right? So when you take the absolute value of a function, the slope is going to be 1. So we know the slope is going to be 1. So all we have to know is that this length is equal to that change in height. So the change in height is 6, so the length is 6. Well, it's going to the left, right? So that has to be a -6. So vice versa with this one. Since the change in height is 6, this is just negative x. So this is -1. So the slope is -1. So this length is the same as this, but just negative. So this is -6 in height. So this one's 6 in length to the right. So that's a 6. So what value of k does it work? It works at 6 and -6. And that's basically it. And if you want to check it, you can plug it in your equation. So x plus 6 minus 2. Put a 0 here. 6 minus positive 6 minus 2 is 4. Or if you had -6, right? 0, -6, absolute value, that's a 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. See? So it's plus or minus 6. Those are the answers. But that's a graphical way to think about it. Number 9, the expression square root 40 times x represent an integer. Find the smallest possible positive integer for x. So find the smallest value for x such that this will be an integer. Okay, so all we have to do is just factor 40. So square root 40 is just 2 times 2, that's a 4, times a 10, right? Times x. Because 10 is just 2 times 5, but we just gotta leave it as 10 because it's not a perfect square. So we know this kind of cancel each other out because you need a double. That means we need another double of 10. So x's smallest value is 10. And that's basically it. That's all you have to solve it. Right? Because 40 times 10 is 400. 400 square root it is 20. That's the smallest possible. So our answer for number 9 is 10. If this matrix plus this matrix equals to this matrix, find expression of a plus b plus c plus d plus 2d plus 4e. So basically all we have to do is matrix arithmetic. So each element in that position is you add together. So 4 times 2 is 8, 3 times 2 is 6. This is 2e, and this is 10. And that is equal to A, B, 4, C. So that means A is equal to 11 because 3 plus 8 is 11. B is equal to 8 because 2 plus 6 is 8. And D plus 2E has to equal to 4. And 4 plus 10 is 14. And C is equal to 14. So A plus B plus C plus 2E plus 4E. So we got to multiply this by 2, right? So that will make this into an 8. So we have to add that up together. So that's 16 plus this is 30 plus that 11 is 41. So your answer is just 41 for number 10. Number 11, for what value of x does a to the power of 4 to the power of 3 times a to the power of 5 is equal to a to x? So when you're going to exponents, you're going to be multiplying. So 4 times 3 is 12. And you're multiplying different like from bases, you're just going to add them. So 12 plus 5 is 17. So answer for number 11 is 17. That's just basic exponential rules. Number 12, first line has the equation 4x plus 3y is equal to 20, and the second line has the equation 2x minus 3y is equal to 12. A third line has the same x-intercept as the first, and and a y-intercept that's a half of the y-intercept of the second line. Find the slope of the third line. Okay, so it has a point that has the same x-intercept as the first line. So that means that 0 comma something for the first line. Actually, no, something comma 0. So 0. So on the first line. So if this is 0, that means x is 5. Okay, so that's our first point. And it has y-intercept, so it'd be 0 comma something. And it's half of that. So x is 0, that means our y is at negative 4, so half that is negative 2. So our slope, 0 minus negative 2 is 2. 5 minus 0 is 5. So our slope is just 2 or 5. And that's basically it for number 12. Number 13, the sum of the smallest and largest of three consecutive even integers is 52. So let's say our three consecutive integers is x plus 2, and x plus 4. And the smallest plus the largest is 2x plus 4 is equal to 52. That means our 2x is equal to 48. That means our x is equal to 24. Okay. So the integer k is 10 less than the middle number. So the middle number is 24 plus 2, which is 26. So 10 less than that is equal to k. So k is equal to 16. So we know. So if p squared is equal to k, so p squared is equal to 16. Find the value, and p is positive, so it can't be plus or minus. So find the value of p. So p is equal to 4. And that's basically it, right? It can't be minus 4 because it's be positive. 14. The numerical value of the expression 2014 plus k is a multiple 9, where k is a positive integer less than 50. So how many possible values are there for k? So 2014 plus k divided by 9. It has to be an integer. Okay, integer. And k has to be it's a positive, it has to be greater than 0 and less than 50. Okay, so you could use your calculator and start plugging in numbers. So find the first number. So 2014, let's say plus a 1, because you start from 1. Divide by 9, that doesn't work. Plus 2, okay, plus 2 works. So usually the pattern for this is that once you have the first number, you gotta start adding by the thing that you're having the multiple of. So your multiple is 9, so add by 9. So it's gotta be 2, 11, 20, 29, 38, and 47. So how many possible values are there for k? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So our answer for number 14 is 6. You can plug in all those values if you want. It's all gonna work. So number 15. How many of the first 200 natural numbers are divisible by all values 3, 4, 5, and 6? So 3 is just 3, 4 is just 2 times 2, 5 is just 5, and 6 is 2 times 3. So we need two threes. I mean, we need two twos, we need one three, and we need a five, right? Because a three, two twos, a five, and two times three is six, right? It's two squared three. So it's gonna encompass all of them. So this is 4, 12, 60, right? So it just need to be divisible by 60. So it's just 200 divided by 60. How many of the first numbers are divided by 60? There's only three of them, right? This might be a decimal, but you're gonna round to three, which is just 60, 120, and 180, right? And that's why there's some decimals, because some of them are not counting for it. But basically, we only take the integer part. So that is three numbers. So the answer is three. Okay, basically just that simple. Number 15. Find the number of integer values for 8x to the power 8x squared minus 6x minus 25 is less than or equal to 2x squared plus 5x plus 10. So get them all to one side. So 8x squared minus 2x squared is 6x squared. Minus 6x minus 5x is minus 11x. And minus 25 minus 10 minus 35. Last one equal to 0. So we have to find if it's negative or 0. So all we have to do is that we kind of just could factor this. So if this is 7 and a 5, that's a 3 and 2. So 15, 10, nope. 21, 10. Okay, so that works. So we have 3x and x. So usually that's how I like check like if we can make that number in the end. So this one has to be the 7, so minus 7, and this one's the plus 5. So this is plus 6 x squared plus minus 21, that's plus 10, so that makes a minus 11, and then minus 35, so less than or equal to 0. So x goes from x is negative 3, negative 5 over 3, and x equals 7 over 2. Okay, so let's think about this as decimals. This is 1.333, etc. And this one's like 3.5. So how many integers can you put between these numbers? Because how the graph looks like is, since this is positive, that means it's concave up. So we have a graph where we have a 0 and negative 1.33, and then 3.5, and then something like this. That's how the graph is going to look. So all the negative numbers are between them. So we have to find the numbers between. So we could go from negative 1, because it's negative 3 point here, so negative 1's like right here. And then we could go to 3 right here, because it's 3.5. So we go from negative 1 to 3. So how many integers are there? Whereas negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our answer for number 16 is 5. Basically just that simple. Question 17. Given that the function f of x is equal to 3x squared plus 2x plus 3, find the sum of the values of k such that f of k plus 4 is equal to 11. Okay, so let's first find out what that value is. So 3x plus 2x plus 3 is equal to 11. So 3x plus 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. So 3x and x. So 4 and a 2, probably. So that's 6. Okay, so this one is a plus 2 and this one's a minus 4, right? 3x squared plus 6 minus 4 plus 2, and then minus 8. Okay, so that's equal to 0. So x is equal to 4 over 3, and x is equal to a negative 2. So we need k plus 4 to equal to x. So k plus 4 is equal to 4 over 3. K plus 4 is equal to negative 2. So k is equal to minus 4, so that's minus 12. So minus 12 over 3. Oops, minus 12. Sorry, minus 8. And this one's minus 6. So the sum is negative 6 plus negative 8 over 3, so that's negative 18, so that's negative 26. So our answer for number 17 is negative 26 over 3. Okay. So instead of like plugging this in and then solving it like a quadratic, we could kind of like just reverse process it. So instead of moving forwards to solve it, we're gonna move backwards. So think about the 11 first. So get the 11, use the 11 to find the x, and then say x is equal to k plus 4. And instead of saying x is equal to k plus 4, and then plugging that in and finding k when it's 11. So that would be a faster way to do it. Number 18. When the 8 coins are flipped, find the probability that the tail occurs exactly 3 times. So this is just basically something with combinations. So the usual equation is n c r times, or whatever these numbers are, it doesn't really matter, times the probability of the first one, and then raise that to like whatever that ratio is, doesn't really matter. So some kind of power. So let's say it's R, and then times 1 minus P, so the other probability, and then have that N minus that R. So that's the general equation. So that's a lot of variables, so let's see how that works. So we have 8 are flipped. Find out exactly that the tail occurs 3 times. So it's 8, you want to choose exactly 3, times the probability, which is 1/2, because to get a tails, like from a coin, right? So getting heads or tails are equal, so 1/2, half the probability is head and half the probability is tails. So how many times you get tails is 3 times. And this is the probability for heads. How many times you get heads? That means 5 times, right? Because 5 plus 3 is 8. That's the total. So that means using your calculator, you can find out what it is, or you could just do some math. So 3 factorial, 5 factorial, times 1 over 2 to the power 3, times 1 over 2 to the power 5. So 8 is 8 times 7 times 6. Cancel out those 5 factorial because it's just 5, 4, 3. But cancel out, but this 5 factorial is 5, 4, 3, right? So you don't have to write that down. And now you just have the 3. So 3 times 2. So this cancels out with this. So all you have left in this equation is 8, which is just 2 to the power 3, times 7, and 2 to the power 3, times 2 to the power of 5. So this cancels each other out, so we have just the 7 and 2 to the power 5, which is 32. So answer for number 18 is 7 over 32. Number 19. Um, if I said 17, I meant 18. Sorry about that. Number 19. If b is not equal to 0 and the ratio of a to b is 2 to 1, okay? So a divided by b is 2 to 1. So find the evaluate the expression 2a plus b over 4b plus 3a. So we know cross multiplying a is equal to 2b. So let's kind of substitute that in. So we'll substitute for a. So 2a, so that's 4b plus b all over 4b plus 6b. So that is 5b over 10b, which is equal to 1/2. Okay, basically just that simple. Question 20. 120 students were provided a choice of breakfast. They had 3 choices: fruits, cereal, and yogurt. Okay, so this seems like a Venn diagram question, so let's kind of make a Venn diagram. So let's make a better circle. Okay, so they said fruit, cereal, yogurt, and fruit. So cereal, yogurt, and fruit. Okay, so um, 53 students had cereal. We don't know that. Yeah. Well, we know this entire thing is 53, so we don't have to, but we don't know any of the other ones yet, the specific ones, so we can't put that in. Same thing with 47 yogurts and 47 fruit. 38 had only cereal, so 38 is here. 12 students had yogurt and fruit, but no cereal, so this one's 12. So 27 students had only fruit, so 27 had only fruit, and 25 had only yogurt. Okay, so we need to find A, B, and C. So what we have is 38. For all cereal, go back to the third sentence. 53 minus 38 is 15. So that means A plus B plus C has to equal to 15 because that's the rest of the other ones. And this at 47 at yogurt. So yogurt 25 plus 12 is 37. So that B plus A plus B has to equal to 10. And they said 47 had fruit. Okay, so that's 39, so that's 8. So, well, 39. So 47 minus 39 is equal to 8. So that means B plus C has to equal to 8. Since we know B plus C is equal to 8, that means A has to equal to 7. If A is equal to 7, we could go back to the second equation. That means B is equal to 3. So if B is equal to 3, we could go back to the third equation. That means C is equal to 5. So we're given all the numbers now. So right. So we have 38 plus A, which is 7, plus B, which is 3, plus c, which is 5, plus the 25, plus the 12, plus the 27. And you should get 117. Since we have 120, 120 minus 117 is 3. So 3 students did not have breakfast outside, right? So another way to do this instead of doing all this math is that you already know that 53 has cereal. So this entire circle over here is 53. So if this is 53, all we need to have is just 53 plus that 25 plus that 12 plus that 27, right? So that would be 53 plus 25 plus 12 plus 27. That should get you the same number, 117, right? And you can subtract. So instead of looking for the individual parts, you don't need it because you already got the entire part. And that's another way to save time, maybe at time. So generally, the questions are pretty easy or easy to medium for regionals for this year. So what you need to know is probability. As review, you probably just need to know probability. You want to know how to work with equations, like how they kind of move around. Know about factors, once again. Parabolas as essential, always know those. Know what consecutive numbers are. So when it says consecutive even, you're adding 2. If it says consecutive, you're just adding 1. So consecutive evens are like what is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. If it's consecutive, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's something like consecutive odd, then it's like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Something like that. Know your exponents. Know your terms like x-intercepts, y-intercepts. Know how to do matrices. Um, I guess this is kind of strange. It's not overly difficult if you kind of think about it. Know like different kind of graphs like absolute values and like radical graphs. Like what is y is equal to square root x. And know averages. And basically that's it. No exponent rules also. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next math record.